Welcome back to Make It Mental, everybody. So some of you might be wondering in your little noggin upstairs how the hell he get that in there without destroying that very soft brass. Let's see if I can get the camera in there just right. You can see it protruding through the inside. Let me show you one that's not done. You can see there's no brass in there at all. So how did I get it in there without distorting it? And before I go to that point, if you don't have brass, you might have some aluminum tube. These aluminum tubes are commonly found in RC helicopters, whether they're toy grade or RC grade or hobby grade, such as this one used to be. This is all that's left of this one, but the dual motor toy grade have a shaft within a shaft, so you'll have two different sizes of aluminum tubing right here. Depending on your axle size and what your build application is, that might be a possibility, something like this right here, but this one's only a single spar or single rotor head design right here. Those are not the correct blades on this, just in case you wonder. So let me set this up visually. Take your brass or your aluminum, whatever you're going to use that you need to make a filler piece with. Then you get yourself something, maybe it's a nail, focus, or something like this. I used this piece in the last one, and you just simply drop it in the hole. Let's see if it'll. Much harder to do that on camera than it is with my eyes. Then you're going to take a hammer and gently snap it, spin the tire, hit it gently, right? Gently. We don't want to split the rim, we don't want to split the brass, we don't want to damage anything. And you might even put a drop of penetrating oil on there. This one happens to be a pretty tight fit, so I'm not even going to worry about trying to solder it to the aluminum or anything like that. And there is a set screw in there. I'm not even going to use a set screw because when I pounded on the other one onto the axle, it is a very tight fit. Right? I doubt I'm going to ever remove that safely. I highly doubt it. It's going to be a permanent fix. Anyway, so just smack it lightly, just keep rotating, rotate, hit, rotate, hit, rotate, hit, until that brass piece is sitting flush with that aluminum hub down there. Right down there. Just set it flush right there. I think I cut my first ones at 8 millimeters. It doesn't need to be 8 millimeters in this particular case. I probably could have got away with 5, and that would have been fine. But larger pieces are easier to handle, easier to cut. And then once the brass is driven in there, now I'm going to take this one and stand it up and maybe even put a drop of oil on here. Make sure all the edges are deburred. Make sure there's no burred edges. And then do the same thing, except I'll use like a block of wood over the top of here, so that way I don't distort the aluminum rim, right? So have a scrap piece of block of wood like pine or oak or whatever, some sort of soft wood, you know, probably pine would be a good choice. It's dense enough, it's hard enough to transfer energy, but not so soft where it's going to split, and it's not going to be hard like oak or mahogany, oak or hickory or something like that, where you might damage the rim, right? So I think pine would be a good choice for smacking that wheel down onto that axle assembly. So there you go, and you can always order some brass tube or aluminum tube from eBay or wherever you like to shop. You might be able to also find this kind of stuff in your local hobby store. Just measure out your axle that you want to modify. In this case here, this one happens to be 3/32. I need it to be 1/8 of an inch, and we managed to make that happen without too much issue at all. So this should be a pretty wild vehicle once it's all done. We'll see.